Here I am, back in the old office. The books are nice and lovely, and I love them. There's not enough lighting at this time of night, and I am here in a rush to make a report on last night's activities, as the main point of the White Commentaries is so that I can keep a track of what I've learned and things I've experienced and conclusions I've made. I was listening to a radio show, and this time I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is. It was with Spaced Out Radio, and they were doing an interview with a gentleman who dealt with the Bigfoot, and he was describing the first time he ever saw any. Now, I'm not really big into the Bigfoot. I'll look into it once in a while because it's really interesting. Like, there's this really cool audio out there of one playing on a tractor. Honest to God, he was playing on a tractor pretending to be a farmer. Pretty awesome. But, I don't know. I know, right? Anthropology degree, you should care. I care in that, okay, fine, but my interests kind of tend towards a different problem. So I'm listening to this, and this is an example of why it is so important to learn things, learn history, learn everything. For folks out there that are like, I want to just depend on my inner consciousness to tell me the answers. If your inner consciousness doesn't have any damn information, you're going to get told lies. Let me backtrack really quick. You guys have listened to my talk about certain MILAB exercises that I have attended, and I have talked of going to a quarry. Now, I have not really heard anything to compound on it or anything, so, sometimes I would think to myself, quarry, what the heck, a quarry, whatever, a quarry, get real, it's a quarry, but last night, this gentleman is describing his first encounter with Bigfoot while he was on a military exercise in a quarry. I was all ears. All ears. Ears. Maybe those are antlers. Antlers. I was all antlers. And what happened as I am listening to this vital clue and semi-confirmation for my own journey, the sound goes out on my phone, the sound goes out on one computer, and the sound goes out on another. Basically, I was blacked out from hearing him discuss what the quarry looked like. I kid you not. I was so mad. And then to top it all off, I'm pretty sure I got picked up last night. Here are the signs, and maybe some of you have experienced this. Incredibly thirsty. When you're picked up for a long period of time, they tend to neglect you because they're assholes. So you end up dehydrated. And even though I drink like bottle after bottle of stuff and drink water, I don't have water at the moment. I should not be dehydrated, but I was today. Sign number 2, exhaustion. Because you're so exhausted after all that. Sometimes you're exhausted because of the scopolamine they give you. Sometimes you're exhausted because they kept you for more than a day and they didn't let you rest. It's like, what the heck? You guys were worried that I was going to discover that it might be a quarry in Oregon? Yeah, I can get to Oregon from where I'm at. I think I'll just step through the door and teleport there. Easy! But it was still an interesting bit of correlating information that I had not picked up from anywhere because the Fort Polk doesn't have a quarry, and I hadn't heard anybody talk about quarries, and there it was. Dun, 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 dun. What am I going to do now? I have no fucking clue. I mean, the other half did message the guy to ask for more information, but he ain't going to answer. None of them people ever answer. They don't give a flying shit. So, I could start looking at the database and try to find information on areas that are being used for military exercises to see if any are quarries, and I might do that. I probably will do that eventually. I've been meaning to do that. But now I know that it won't necessarily be a fruitless exercise. It won't be a fruitless exercise. But it just goes to show that sticking to just, I think I'll listen to interviews from MILABs and see if they talk about, not necessarily, you need to expand your horizons and learn about other things. This means picking up a history book. It means picking up a physics book. And if you're dumb like me and can't really follow a lot of the higher maths, there's this really cool manga. But the point is to amass various bits of knowledge. That's just the best way to get the whole picture. Speaking of whole pictures, on a final note, have you ever noticed that people that are like totally in denial? Just an example off the top of my head. The aliens are so benevolent and peaceful and they love us, and it's okay if they take your children and run these things on them because they're doing it for our own good. But I had this MILAB experience and it was very negative, and there were doctors and surgeons there that I can't say they were people because they were very inhuman, and they didn't connect with me the way that, and they were very cold, and they saw us as insects. Oh, denial. Oh, denial. Food for thought, guys. If you are getting visited by benevolent beings, then why are you also getting visited by beings that will give you a negative experience? Okay, one person being the center of the universe like that to get picked up by two sides, good and evil. Okay. Everybody, and it is everybody? No. You are not the center of the universe for the aliens to center on you no matter what side they are on. So therefore, there has to be a common thread. What do each side of the aliens and the alien factor have in common? If it's you that they have in common, then that's not good enough. Because no one, not even I, the great mistress, that sounded bad. I, the cosmic empress, I like the sound of that. I am not the center of the universe for that to happen, and I just have a hard time believing that anybody else is. It isn't that you can't be somebody to make an impact on the world, mind you. I'm not putting you as an entity down. I'm just saying, get your head out your ass. Get your head out your ass. Furble, furble, furble. Now, my cherry earrings, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably take a shower and wash the denial out of my wig.